Casey Puch. Okay. Guys, my name is Voss, and today we're at the Genius Garage with CEO, owner, Casey Puch.
Yes. How are you? Glad you guys are here.
So generally you see me behind a car or reviewing something. Today's gonna be a little different. There's still a car review that's happening, but first we're gonna do a little bit of the behind the scenes of the Genius Garage, as well as why you chose to start this. So, you know, I'm gonna shut my mouth, and the floor is yours.
I guess first thing is, what is Genius Garage? I think it's best answered by saying why I started it. It's been like 5-6 years ago now. Genius Garage is a dream shot educational internship, and the whole point of it is to try to find those people with a spark and give them that incredible shot, find them the best mentors and everything that makes their resume incredible, gives them personal growth, and really jumpstarts their careers. Genius Garage started with its professional level racing team, effectively. We had an Indy car, and the college students became an IndyCar team that year. We did all the engineering, all the business, all logistics, and we took them on incredible field trips. Been doing that for the last 5 years now with the racing team. We've got a Le Mans prototype. We've got an IMSA Corvette, which is really cool. We've got another project. And then this past year was the first year for our Genius Garage aerospace program. And actually just behind us, or over that way, is the Sopwith Camel biplane that our students built this year in 4 months. And we've got some other cool airplanes to check out too. But the aerospace program is going amazing also. And we're sitting here in the design studio. So also mentoring some students with regard to automotive design. We've got students from engineering, students from fine art. And the drawing board there actually belongs to a young 13-year-old protege I'm mentoring. And then over here is my recyclable, high-efficiency Omega car prototype to teach with. But welcome to Genius Garage.
So, Casey, why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself? I know, this is a car channel. I know you're really big into cars, hence the 97 Viper. But why don't you talk a little more about, the different cars and what exactly brought you into the car world and then transitioned you into staying within the car world, but helping all these, different students find real hands-on ways to express like their, what they're doing in like the classrooms and stuff.
Totally. Well, I mean, as a kid, I loved cars. My dad was into them. He liked them. He liked watching racing, going to racing. Of course, I like lots of other things, boys do growing up as kids. You like trains, you like airplanes, you like animals and things like that. And still love all those things. But as I got a little bit older, I loved go-karts. And I guess I was a competitive young person. And so I always dreamed of having somebody to race. But I loved cars and slot cars and radio control cars and building them and doing art of them and drawing them. And, as I got older and older, I went, crap, I can't afford these things. You know what I mean? And nobody's going to buy them for me. So my first car was a 1987 four-door Volkswagen Golf, 5-speed. It wasn't the GTI, it was GL. But I still loved it. And that was before the Fast and Furious kind of craze came out and people got real into Japanese imports. And I was not cool with it. I grew up in a fairly small Midwestern town, and European imports was not cool if you didn't have like a V8 or something. But I was still into it. And as the internet came out, and that obviously dates me. But when you read magazines, you look at the internet, you dream of cars you want someday. Like, oh my gosh, Lamborghini Countach, or whatever. You quickly realize a couple of things. One, even if one day I can get one of these or trade up or whatever, I'm going to have to know how to work on it, because who the heck's going to work on it? And I'm not going to pay somebody else to do a cruddy job working on my car, and I couldn't even if I wanted to. So, with the Volkswagen, you want it to go fast, you want it to be cooler. So as a young person, you start tinkering it, you work on it. And I built stuff. So, for me, the love of cars was everything for a young man growing up, because it expresses your freedom. It allows you to go somewhere. It expresses sport. You can be sporty. You can go to autocross, with your dad or something like that in it. That's very reasonable to do. You can dream of racing someday. And it's a mean of self-expression. So if you modify your car, your personal taste and things like that. So it's a lot of great things. And, I made mentors, I made friends. I had a man named John in my hometown who was a machinist, an engine builder and all. And he was really nice to me as a kid. And I would hang out there and I'd learn from him. I'd watch him machine and he'd teach me and tell me stories and things. And, and as time went by in college and whatnot, I did form SAE. It was an opportunity to learn how to weld and learn a bit about composites and such. So, I think for an inquisitive mind, you're hungry for knowledge. And if you want a cool car, you got to figure out how to get one. So you got to build it, And then when you fast forward a little later, I got known for building the world's only turbine-powered Batmobile, which was kind of a replica look-alike of the Michael Keaton Air 1.
Oh, really?
But I put a turbo shaft helicopter engine in it, like what fiction was. And that was just that's extreme. And obviously a lot happened in between. But when you're inquisitive and you learn how do things work. Electrics, mechanics, aerodynamics, engineering, stress analyses, everything. Eventually, when you get a seat of the pants feel for that, and you can kind of design stuff or conceptualize in your mind, you can about build anything. So, cars for me was always speed and fun and building.
All right, well, now that we've talked a little bit, let's take a tour around your shop. Let's talk about some of the programs you're doing with the aerospace as well as the automotives.
Right on.
All right. I'm here with Casey. We're done with the sitting and stuff. It's getting a little much.
Yeah.
But we're at the first stop in the Genius Garage. This is the plane that started their aerospace program, and Casey's going to tell us a little bit about what this is doing and how the students are a part of this.
Oh, for sure. Well, this year, 2018, was the first year for the Genius Garage aerospace program. Of course, we've been doing the racing and automotive engineering related program before that. This is a full-scale replica, effectively, of a Sopwith Camel World War I English fighter plane. Now, I'm going to be frank, a lot of the nature of the construction method, the engine, whatnot, does not exactly replicate 100 years ago, but it's dimensionally accurate and it's a flyable airplane, everything's great. So, just, for the detail-oriented people out there. But what this is a great opportunity for is, so you've got young people who are in mechanical engineering potentially, or maybe thinking of aerospace engineering, or any of these creative individuals. So you go to college, and it's vastly theoretical. You never turn a wrench, you don't build anything, you get no seat-of-the-pants feel for, fluid dynamics or mechanical, that's just the nature of it. So what I wanted to do was build upon our success from the racing and automotive engineering programs for Genius Garage, but do that in the aerospace industry. Because I knew there's so many brilliant young people that want to be involved with aerospace, airplanes, building, etc. And I also realized that the Experimental Aircraft Association and the ability for amateur people to build their own airplanes and then work with the FAA to get it inspected and actually fly it is the perfect environment for Genius Garage. So that's what we did. In this room, in the beginning of March this year, this room was empty. This airplane did not exist. The tables did not exist. We started by making the tables over 2 days, got together. And this thing was nothing but a big box of sticks and fabric, basically, and an engine sitting in the corner. So I think it's pretty amazing. It goes to show what a team of young people can do when they have an opportunity, they have a little bit of leadership, and they have a common goal. And that's why our people get hired. That's why this program works, and that's why the aviation industry and world has loved us. In fact, just recently we had a BD5 microjet kit donated, as well as a Blanca Super Viking. And we may be getting one of Burt Rutan's designs, the Long Easy, soon too. So I'm just over the moon with how great the Genius Garage Aerospace program is going. But here's where it all started.
All right, we just took you through the kind of the overview of how the aerospace program started. Now we are I'm literally standing on top of a lift. Like, this is what I do for you guys. We get on lifts to get the coolest shots. This car right here is what started this entire program, the entire Genius Garage idea. So Casey's going to kind of talk us through why racing and why racing and why you chose to do this.
Okay. So Genius Garage started with this very Indy car here, this Reynard, and it goes down to why racing, why an Indy car? Well, if you want to get young people the best opportunity to grow, they need to not have a ceiling. You know what I mean? And I knew that a racing team is the perfect vehicle, no pun intended, for engineers to come together, young people, creative people, to do something big in the real world and challenge them like crazy. And since it's in the real world and not within an academic institution for like an engineering project, then they know they really have to perform. They got to make it right. So I thought it was a fantastic opportunity to get the most out of them and grow. And I knew that would suit Genius Garage well. But this car here is what started it all. 1996, 97 Reynard. It's a blisteringly fast car. It's still from the peak of American open wheel racing. I believe these cars are still faster than a new Indy car is. So, that's something neat, and it says a lot. Genius Garage started with this. We did the first year. It was amazing. Some of those students, gosh, I know one of those students is doing like prototype fuel cell work for GM and actually recruits now. Another one of the students from that year, he works at Tesla headquarters in Palo Alto doing engineering. So that's amazing. Gosh, who else? There's designers. A few of those students are actually just about to graduate since they were freshmen that year. One of them, which was a freshman that first year, actually changed his major from mechanical engineering to aerospace engineering because I put him in charge of the aerodynamics and suspension side. So it's just neat how Genius Garage has really impacted the students and where it's gone from there. But yeah, we're all, it's like this is our tree house today. We're up on the IndyCar on the lift and also give you guys a good view of the shop. It is a little messy today because two things. Projects and amazingly some wonderful people have donated planes to us. So over there in the corner you see that aluminum bullet shaped thing. That's a BD5 microjet kit, partially assembled. One of the students is making that a real high-end project for himself. Over in this corner is a Blanca Super Viking, real neat airplane, high performance and all. And so it's taking up some room. You can see our prototype car, our IMSA Corvette back there. We've had a lot of great success with that. In fact, it won in Indianapolis this year with the students and passed Bill Elliott in his Brickyard winning NASCAR on the last lap. So that was pretty neat. And then here, the tables, these were actually the tables that the students built this year that we could build that Sopwith Camel airplane on. So we would actually draw the blueprints in full scale on the tables, on the white, and we would set up and build the wings and all the airplane on it. And then, of course, it's got messy, but then when you want to draw new things on the table, you just paint it over and draw it. But what's going on here is a wild project, which is and will be the world's only full-scale flying pterosaur model. In the 1980s, a man named Paul McCready did a half-scale flying one for the Smithsonian. He was a famous aero engineer who did the Gossamer Albatross and Condor, which was a human-powered airplane that flew over the English Channel in the 70s. So we're doing a full-scale one. The wingspan comes in at about a 37-foot wingspan and utilizes carbon fiber tubes for effectively the vertebra. It uses real high-performance sailcloth and whatnot for the wing membranes, and we're building the body structure and everything similar to how Scaled Composites does their airplanes, and Bert can design his stuff. So it should be pretty cool.
All right, guys, Casey just took me on a tour of the Genius Garage, and we kind of saw some of the different programs they do with the aerospace and the cars and what all the different students are doing here. Thanks again. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for, I mean, you're so close. This is a no-brainer. So
sorry the shop's a bit messy, but we got projects and people donating stuff. It's in storage, and actually we're looking at bigger places to move. So it's just amazing what's going on there, and I appreciate you coming out, and I hope some of you guys get interested. Check us out on Facebook, my Instagram. Genius Garage got a great website, and come on out.
They do a lot for students, so if you're in engineering or really,
that's the whole point of it.
Yeah,
it's the whole point is to give people their dream shot and augment the resume. We've got students now working at Tesla headquarters. We got them at like GM doing fuel cells. They're at Dana. They're at Goodyear. They're all over the place. And here's the deal: Genius Garage does what it was supposed to. It gives them the experience to grow, but then takes their resume from the bottom of the pile, puts it on the top, and so they land the most competitive jobs. And that's why I did this.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the Genius Garage, and I'm sure by this point I'm gonna hear about what a 1997 Viper GTS is doing behind me. This is a car channel. We got to show cars, and one of the coolest things when I reached out to Casey is he daily drives this.
That's true. Except for the winter, because let's face it, it's not gonna do well in snow.
So we're gonna take it for a spin, and I will see you next video.